you guys? Marty Schwartz here of Marty Music. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it. I'm going to give you kind of a more country-ish side of the blues, a little lick concept. If you can't tell from my shirt, that's how we get more country. That's one way to do it. Anyway, I got this from Jerry Garcia, so it's like inspired by Garcia. I'm thinking of this as over a G major chord or a G7 chord. So it's got that kind of happier but bluesy sound to it. So here's the G note. I usually plug in chords or visualize scales, arpeggios, chords. I can visualize either the whole shape or start with knowing the roots. So if I'm up here on the 10th fret of the A string, that's the G note. The other root, meaning the other G note, is on the 12th fret of the G string. So this can be movable. I'm just thinking of it as G, and it plugs right in because I see the shape. If we were in a different key, you could plug it in wherever that root would be. But for right now, we're in G. It could also be a G7 chord. It could also be a G9 chord. In other words, this device works over these sounds as well, like a regular G major, country, G blues, funk. Okay, so here's the device. That's just, kind of starting point because we want to be able to plug it in. Because if you're playing over chord changes, even the 3 chords of the blues, you can do this device by moving it over each of the chords as well. So we're going to slide up to the 12th fret. And you can slide half step or whole step. I'm using my ring finger. Then I go to the 10th fret. Now those notes come from the G major pentatonic. They're also in, they're also in the G major scale, and they're also in the G mixolydian. So it really depends on how you look at it. 12, 10. Then this is that little country blues sound, which is going to be the middle finger on the 11, and then ring finger goes up to the 12. And when I hit the 12 with my ring finger, I kind of want to use the farther back pad so I can roll my ring finger over to the same fret on the G string. So and as you saw there, I reversed it and flipped it around, and I started coming up with little licks based on the device. So here it is again. Slide to the 12, then 10, then 11, 12 on the B, and then 12 on the G, which is the root again, or the root. Now I'm going right here to the 9th fret of the G. So as we do this, so far we've got our index finger now on the 9th of the G. I'm going to get my middle finger to the 10th of the D, then I'm going to do another one of those country blues thingies. That's the technical term. It's a thingy, country blues thingy, which would be 8 to 9 on the D string. And then you have your root again on the 10th of the A. So let me put that all together. And that root on the 10 of the A. So that's the lick. Now, there's a few things underneath it. Let me do the lick one more time really slow, and then I'm going to just talk about other things that are happening, other things you can do, so you have some context. So... So there is this thing called G mixolydian, and in this position where I've found my root on the A string, it's the exact same thing as the C major scale, but right here it's... Sounds very scaly when you just play the scale, but... So there's a lot that it can be, you know, I think of the mixolydian shape as kind of like a bunch of notes that work, but then there's all kinds of tasty things to add to it. The other thing here is the G blues scale. All of a sudden it's not quite as happy sounding, right? And then you've also got the G major pentatonic, which looks the exact same thing as the E minor pentatonic, but the G's are the roots. So you can take these little shells and then really you start to improvise and add flavor with little passing tones, blues notes, the little hammer-on tricks, things like that. So here's the lick again. But then I can see blues stuff. Major pentatonic. I can see the chords underneath. So watch if I just use that device now to play over the 3 chords of a G blues. You got G7, you got C7, and you got D7. Watch, I'll just play the little device. Then I'm going to go to the C7, back to the G, and then the D turnaround 7. try some of that out. All right, there was the lesson. Thanks again for your continued support of Marty Music right here, spreading the word. You can put your requests in the comments below, and hope to see you again in another lesson real soon. See you later.